This year, 12 AD, a change in command of the Roman army in Germania takes place. The king of the Parthian Empire is overthrown, and Qin China is involved in more military activity. Welcome to the Yearly Histories, where we will highlight the major events that take place in the Common Era, year by year. Last year, we saw Tiberius crossing the Rhine River at the head of an army, and the catastrophic flooding of the Yellow River doing serious damage to the Qin dynasty in China. Starting this year, over in the northwestern border regions of the Roman Empire, Tiberius has been doing his part to stabilize the region in the aftermath of the Roman defeat in the Teutoburg forest at the hands of the local Germanic tribes. As matters in the region are settling, Tiberius hands over the reins to his nephew Germanicus to manage the Roman army in Germania, and he returns to Rome. Since the various Germanic tribes have consolidated their newly liberated territory over the last couple years, it would take a much larger offensive at this point than the Romans are capable of to strike back and take control of their former territory deep in Germania. Augustus is 73 years old in this year, and he has been pondering the future. As Tiberius returns to Rome, he is elevated to the position of co-imperator by Emperor Augustus himself. Augustus will still be the #1 authority in the Roman Empire, but this grants Tiberius an even higher position than being just the designated heir. This decision further consolidates his future succession, and leaves no doubt that Tiberius will be the sole future head of the empire. Over in the Black Sea coastal town of Tomis, the banished Roman poet Ovid completes another of his famous works in approximately this year. It's the cursed poem called Ibis. Ovid claims that his poetry up to this point has been harmless, but now he is going to use his abilities to hurt his enemy. He uses a dazzling array of mythic stories to curse and attack an unspecified enemy who is harming him in Rome while Ovid is in exile. In the Parthian Empire, actions from the past 2 years come to a head in the conflict between King Vonones I of the Parthian Empire and his client king of Media Atropatene, Artabanus. The situation has turned further in Artabanus' favor in the last year, as his forces have been winning in their clashes with those of Vonones. This year, Vonones I is forced to vacate the throne and flee to the Roman client state of Armenia. The current monarchs in Armenia, Tigranes V and his queen Arato, are overthrown, and the Romans grant Vonones I the title of King of Armenia. The Armenian public will surely not like this decision, as they themselves have overthrown foreign leaders in the past. Now back in Parthia, Artabanus ascends to the throne as King Artabanus II, and he immediately disputes the authority of Vonones I as King of Armenia. Artabanus II likely claims ancestry from the Arsacid dynasty, but the Arsacid nobility in Parthia preferred Vonones as he was more Hellenized, or influenced by Greek culture, as opposed to the supporters of Artabanus II, who were more under Oriental or Eastern influence. Moving to China, Wang Mang has to roll back more of his radical reforms that he has implemented since taking control of China and becoming the new emperor in 9 AD. He finds that many of his land reforms are unenforceable. If you remember, in order to combat the rampant poverty of most Chinese inhabitants, and ownership of land being concentrated in the hands of a few rich families, he decided to make major changes. He implemented a new revolutionary land distribution system, ordering that all land in the empire will now legally become the empire's property, for him to dole out as he sees fit. He also decreed that all able-bodied men were to receive a standard allotment of land. Families with more land than his new formula was to allow were to distribute their surplus land to land-poor relatives and neighbors. This all came crashing down, as the imperial government was not able to enforce these new rules, as the aristocrats, who were supposed to uphold these laws, clearly were being hurt financially by them, and had no incentive to continue the facade. Tensions continue to increase between the Qin dynasty and the Xiongnu Confederacy in the north. Wang Mang has recently been meddling in their affairs of state, as he gave financial backing to Xian, the pro-China half-brother of the Chanyu, or leader of the Xiongnu. Xian was able to flee to Qin Dynasty territory. This year, Wang Mang turns his attention to another Xiongnu prince. He decides to execute a different prince who has been in captivity in the Qin capital of Chang'an. It seems like the tensions between these two powers will continue to increase further. In other military matters, the Qin Imperial Army defeats the Goguryeo army in the northeast. The Goguryeo are a Korean kingdom situated in the north of their peninsula and have had scattered clashes with the Chinese people for some time now. Wang Mang sent them a request for aid in their ongoing conflict with the Xiongnu, but King Yuri of Goguryeo decided to attack them instead. It does not go well for them. We will leave this year, 12 AD, with Tiberius being named co-imperator by Augustus, a new king ascending to the throne of the Parthian Empire, and multiple conflicts on the northern borders of the Qin dynasty. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to be notified when the next iteration of the yearly histories will be released. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next year in 13 AD to continue the fascinating stories of the world of antiquity and cover its major events.